Our nation has a challenge. How do we renovate our homes in a way that's in sync with the planet? I'm Steve Thomas, and together we'll find the answers on Renovation Nation. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, or the Hub, the birthplace of the American Revolution, and now one of the leaders of the country's Green Revolution. Local homeowners Steve and Sharon Riley are doing their part by building a small backyard office out of eco-friendly materials. They have a 2-year-old son, Nate, and a brand new baby girl, Sienna.
Want to use the markers?
They both work from home, and with 2 kids under the age of 3, living space is at a premium.
We bought a house that's pretty small, and right now we need space in the house.
So he needs to get out.
Okay, we're gonna set you up right here, buddy.
And to make the job even more challenging, they're renovating green on a strict $5,000 budget. To help save money on labor, Steve has recruited the 2 papas, his father, Steve Sr., and Sharon's father, Larry.
I think the only reason that they helped me was because I was giving them a granddaughter, or she was, actually.
We're headed to the home of Steve and Sharon Riley. He's an architect and he works at home. And she's a mom. They just had their 2nd kid. But the house is tiny, so she's basically kicking him out. He's got to build himself a man cave in the backyard. He wants to go green. That's where we come in. The problem is, it's supposed to pour today. 100% chance of rain. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get done, to be honest with you. These guys chose a great day to build a man cave. Yeah, they're working away at it. Hello. Good, how are you? I'm Steve.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. Who's this?
This is me.
Hi. I hear a rumor that you're driving your husband out of the house.
I am. I said get out. It's not true. The rumor is not true. But we want to keep him close to home, so that's why we've...
Just far enough away, but close to home. It's supposed to pour today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, well, thanks. I'm Steve.
Very good meeting.
Larry, good to meet you.
Same here.
You guys really choose your weather.
No, it chose us.
Steve, good to... And you're Steve, so...
Riley, Senior.
The 2 papas have helped Steve Jr. with projects before. They don't always see eye to eye.
It's working with Steve is interesting all the time. He bites off an awful lot.
He can make it very interesting because he's a little bit too exacting sometimes.
They have their methods on how they like to do things, so there's a lot of compromise. Tensions can run high.
So who's running this job?
Mr. Riley over here.
You really think so? Who's running the job?
That's what they want me to believe. They ask me questions just to humor.
Yeah. I'm hoping to bring some order to the process, which will consist of laying out the floor and raising the office walls, all made of recycled lumber, and then insulating with a soy-based spray foam.
Steve has 30-something years of experience. I'd love him to overrule one of the papas.
So it's raining, it's supposed to pour. Obviously, you know, so what do you want to do?
I'd say we deck the first 4 feet,
Yeah.
build the back wall.
The first step is to verify that the studio subfloor is completely level. If the frame and subfloor isn't level, it can be difficult to create a building that's plumb, which means that it's perfectly straight up and down. Uneven framing can also lead to issues with flooring and roofing, making the whole structure crooked. We need to get it right the first time, so materials aren't wasted. I brought a laser level. You want to shoot it in to make sure you're level?
No, I think we're good.
Show me your level.
Right there. Which is the good side?
Yeah, which is the good side?
Whatever side works for you.
Over time, levels can become inaccurate due to warping of the wood and sometimes plain old wear and tear. It looks like that might have happened with Larry's.
Oh, it really does have a good side and a bad side.
This is half a bubble off.
No, it's not a half a bubble. 16th.
You just like it because it's younger than you are.
But not better.
All right. You want to shoot it?
Let's shoot it.
Okay. Oh, good. See, he's pretty sensitive about that 40-year-old level he's got there. My tool of choice is a state-of-the-art laser level. I mean, if you're going to build a man cave, you know, then you gotta, you know, exercise a little bit of tool lust, right? This sophisticated piece of equipment will allow us to be dead-on accurate. And when we're level, it'll beep to let us know. You're an 8th low there. Now you're cheating here. You're leaning that. He's cheating! You're cheating, dude!
Oh, I'm not level. I'm sorry.
You're cheating. You're trying to justify that ancient level you got. You can't cheat on this. And that's 5/8 high. That's half high.
I wasn't here for any of this, Steve.
Boy, you see how he threw you under the bus? Just right under the bus. That's what I love about the guys from Boston. They got attitude, big time. Since the subfloor framing of Steve's future office isn't level, we have 2 options. So you got to shim this or drop that.
We can
If you want to do that,
replace
that's
that
fine.
4x4
Let's do that.
to the proper height and then rebolt it, and we're done.
Okay. The 4x4 is the office corner post. To get the floor level, we can either replace this post or prop it up with a shim. The strongest technique will be to replace the post. But being green sometimes comes down to small things, like reusing the existing pieces that we already have. So instead of wasting a piece of pressure treated, which is not green, I'm just going to flip it over. The holes don't affect the strength. They'll be at the bottom. And we'll set it for level again, re-drill it, and we're good to go.
Dead on.
Dead on.
Right on the money.
All right, let's go.
Steve Jr. is keeping his office green by using mostly recycled wood that he tracked down from local carpenters and from ads on the internet. Now, what's your plan?
Slide to me. Under and back.
Right there, you good?
Next, we add the bridging and secure the horizontal beams, known as joists. We're using salvaged lumber, and that's good, but it still has to be cut with precision to ensure a strong structure. All right, so the bridging is done, and look how much it has stiffened up this deck here. There's no bounce. Now that we built a level floor with recycled wood, we need the next step in our green office, insulating the floor with an eco-friendly material. But the rain is a real threat at this stage. Whenever you're building, you want to keep the insulation and the entire frame dry to prevent future mold problems. Luckily, we get a reprieve from the storm, and our spray foam truck rolls up. How are you? Steve Thomas.
Steve, bro. Nice to meet you.
Dave?
Gregor Alvaretti.
Gregor? Good to meet you.
Let's do it.
This spray foam can cost up to 4 times more up front, but in the long run, it'll save Steve money. The foam insulation creates an airtight seal that can save up to 50% on home heating costs. But just as we start spraying the foam insulation, the little sun we had ducks behind the clouds again. All right, so now we got a problem with the rain. We had a little patch of sun. Around here, they call that a sucker hole, but now it's raining. Coming up, we'll have to beat the rain if we want to save the spray foam from future mold problems. Any moisture could potentially ruin the floor. This might actually push our timetable off today. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts with Steve and Sharon Riley. Steve is building a small studio office in the backyard of their home. We've just finished framing the subfloor using salvaged recycled wood. But just as we're about to install the energy-efficient and ecologically responsible spray foam insulation, it looks like it might rain. We're going to have to be careful, because if the foam insulation gets wet, it'll trap the moisture in the subfloor and could result in mold. Then this whole project would have to start from square one. We brought in an expert to do it right. David Prell specializes in spray foam insulation. You can use petroleum, or you can use soybean oil. Yep. You guys use sugar cane. Yep. What makes it green?
Spray foam is green, and that's reducing energy costs. The soy is green, and that's replacing petroleum.
The particular spray foam formula uses soy and a chemical reaction that creates carbon dioxide to form the expanding foam, a safe and easy way to maximize the volume of the insulation. Once you spray it in, you can see how it expands and fills all the little voids. This is like the ultimate down coat, zipped up hood.
This is the best insulation product on the market.
Steve Jr.'s original cost for fiberglass was only $500, while the spray foam was $2,000. But with this type of insulation, he'll be able to heat his office for only 2 to 3 cents per hour. He estimates that his average heating and cooling costs will total only about $10 a month. possibly recouping his costs within as little as a year. This shows that while going green might cost more up front, it can pay off sooner than you might think. With the foam fully expanded, the last step is to trim off the excess to create a flat surface. So the foam's been sprayed into the joist bays. That's the space in between the joists. It's been shaved down flat. Now that the floor is set, we need to install the studio walls and windows. Steve has already collected recycled 2x4s for the walls, but we still need to acquire the windows on a tight budget. So to bring this project in for $5,000, you got to have free labor, which you've got.
Yep.
And pretty cheap materials. Where are you going to find those?
You want cheap? I got cheap for you. We're going to go to the Boston Materials Resource Center. Let's check it out.
All right. Started in 1993, the Boston Building Materials Resource Center serves more than 1,350 homeowners and nonprofit customers annually. Its eco-friendly mission is to recycle new and used donated materials at an affordable cost. So how did you find this place, Steve?
Well, as an architect, I'm always looking for ways to reduce the amount of waste that's out there.
So these guys will take stuff that would otherwise end up in a landfill.
I'm Deb.
Steve Thomas. Hi, Deb.
Nice to meet you.
So, do you run the place?
I'm the assistant director. We're a nonprofit organization. Everything in our store is donated.
It's cool. So what's your best deal in the store right now? Come on, I know you're a bargain hunter.
So many.
Windows. You have dimensions?
I do. This one might work.
Just one little dinky window in the south?
Well, the idea with the man cave is I don't really want my wife to see what's going on in there, right?
When using salvage materials, it can be difficult to find ones that are sized appropriately to fit your structure. By choosing from these, we have to double-check their dimensions and their overall quality before purchasing to make sure they're a good match.
Well, wait a sec. What do we got here?
Wood on the inside, so you got the woody look.
That's a $450
Yeah,
window.
no pressure. But you'd be an idiot not to buy these.
No, I think I have to do it.
Yeah, that's right. This appeals to the bargain hunter in me. With these two high-performance double-pane windows, Steve Jr. is saving 85% up front. They'd normally retail for about $900, but they cost him $150, which helps him stay on budget. The windows also have a low emissivity coating, which means they prevent heat loss during the winter and heat gain in the summer, saving him more in energy, too. One of the other ways Steve is staying on his $5,000 budget is by using free labor. Both his father, Steve Sr., and his father-in-law, Larry, are lending a hand. The papas may be on our side, but the weather is still against us. Now we got to get the deck on, the plywood deck on, before it starts raining.
The project, as far as the weather's concerned, is doable.
Rain, sleet, snow, you keep working.
You have another caulking gun? In addition to nailing the plywood to the joists, we apply a low VOC adhesive. Just bead like this. Being low VOC means it emits fewer harmful gases. It's also non-flammable, and it's 2 to 3 times stronger than traditional adhesives. This will increase the floor's longevity and strength.
Right there. We flush on the end?
Yeah, you're pretty
You
good.
happy?
I'm happy.
We're just racing the weather. We know it's going to pour. We just want to get this done.
We're good. Fastest deck in the West.
If we're lucky, we're going to get one wall standing, and then we got to waterproof this thing 6 ways to Hades so that the big sponge, which is the insulation, doesn't soak up all that water, because it'll never dry out. As we scramble to beat the weather, we begin putting the walls together using Steve's salvage 2x4s. Steve was able to save a great deal of money using recycled lumber. In the end, his total cost for wood was only $100, and he estimates that he saved nearly $4,000. Best of all, he's not only conserving cash, but trees as well. So we're putting together the wall. It's a basic ladder. This is the bottom. It's called the plate. Some people call it the shoe. That's the top plate. These are the studs. You nail it all together on the deck, and then we'll sheathe it with plywood, and we'll tip it up. Stand it up straight. If we get that far, we'll be lucky. Look at the clouds. Look at them racing through. At less than 200 square feet, Steve's small insulated office will not take much energy to heat and cool. And it'll provide him with a local workspace that won't require him to travel from home. Let's get it up before it starts raining.
1, 2, 3.
Push it back your way. Good, perfect. You said this was for working, but we know it's for watching the football game.
It might serve
Dual
that purpose.
There you go. I'm going to let the crew take over for a week. Steve Jr.'s office looks like it's in good hands, but I'll be back for the finishing touches, adding shingles to the roof and setting the foundation for the deck. Two big jobs that could quickly eat up any savings from our recycled lumber and windows. Up next, a unique foundation that could solve our budget dilemma. I have never seen this before, so I'm really curious to find out about it. It's been a week since I helped Steve and Sharon Riley build Steve's backyard studio office. Steve Jr., his father, and his father-in-law needed to get the rest of the structure up. And now that they have, they're faced with a new set of challenges. On a tight budget of $5,000, Steve still needs to install the roof shingles and the foundation for a deck. And I'm back to help him do that.
In construction, nothing ever goes exactly as you planned, but
Doing pretty good on the budget so far. We're holding tight.
Let's see what kind of progress they've made. I can hear hammers going. That's a good sign. Look at that. Building is framed up, sheathed. Looks like the roof is half on. Copper drip edge. Classy. Gentlemen.
Morning.
All four walls are up and the roof is nearing completion. Today, I'll help install a green version of shake roofing and an innovative and eco-friendly foundation for the deck. Chris Shields, good to see you again.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good. So you helped us out on the barn project in Maine?
Work came out really
and,
well.
you are the local distributor for this
I
product.
am. This shake roofing product. It's 95% crumb rubber from old tires that'd be sitting in a landfill somewhere, just rotting away, and
Or not rotting away.
not rotting away.
So it's old tires, it's recycled plastic, and then you can see the wood fibers in here too.
Within 3 to 9 months, when it's on the roof, it'll turn into a nice-looking 6 to 7-year-old cedar look, like you would find on a traditional cedar roof in New England.
Approximately 242 million tires are thrown away each year. Only 7% of those are recycled. I like it because it's recycled.
Exactly.
It lasts, I don't know, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, something like that.
Life expectancy is 80 to 100 years.
Longer than I'm going to be around.
Absolutely.
And they claim it's fireproof.
Has a Class C fire rating. It will not burn.
Traditional roof shingles are made out of cedar, but these premium faux shake shingles will hold up better over time because they won't warp, rot, or crack. The cost is comparable to high-grade cedar, but their lifespan is projected to be more than 4 times the life of their cedar counterparts, making them an excellent green choice. What I like about these shingles most of all is that it represents a new class of products that takes waste out of the waste stream and turns it into something useful. On any roofing job, you need a starter course, and what that means is 1 row of shingles at the very lowest point, the start. So then this next course will lay like that. We decided on a 1/4 inch overhang all the way around. After nailing down the starter course, we'll keep adding courses, working our way up the roof. This type of shingle is straightforward to install with standard roofing materials. You can install them with an air nailer on top of plywood or other type of roof sheathing. I'd never make any money as a roofer. I'm way too slow. As we work our way up the roof, we apply a waterproof sealing membrane. So this is a sticky back membrane. When a roofing nail goes through it, like this, it kind of shrinks around it like a self-sealing inner tube. Even if you were to get some water up under the shingles, the roof wouldn't leak. Steve Jr.'s backyard studio is close to completion. The final project he needs my help with is setting the foundation for the deck. So you want to put a little deck on your man cave so you can stroll out here and sort of survey your kingdom.
That's right.
All 12 feet of it. Your wife owns that kingdom, and you own this kingdom.
I get this corner of the yard.
Yeah.
She gets the rest.
You've come up with an innovative foundation system for the deck. I have never seen this before.
This is something called a pin foundation, as it uses steel pins instead of concrete. And all you do is drive the steel pin through.
So all the concrete acts as is a hub. The pins carry the load. So it anchors the building.
That's right.
And it gives it a solid footing.
That's right. The reason that it's green is concrete takes a lot of energy to produce. With this product, all you have is this little block of concrete.
A typical foundation requires significant amounts of concrete, as well as deep ground excavation that can alter the soil's drainage capacity. By using this system, Steve won't have to excavate as much as he would for a poured concrete foundation. For a small project like a deck, it's low impact and environmentally sensitive. With larger foundations, it'll keep more topsoil in the ground, which helps absorb runoff water and prevents flooding problems.
Watch Steve's levels. You don't want those to turn into a Larry level.
I heard that.
I'm impressed. It's fast, it's easy. You can put your foundation in and build the same day. I'll get the name of this. I'll use this.
Yeah.
This project might show America that you can do things green just by using recycled materials, something that most people can do without a lot of effort. It doesn't have to be expensive to, to build green, and I think this project showcases that.
What do you think, Nate? I think the roof looks great.
Does look great.
It really looks good.
Yeah.
And you brought it in on time, on budget.
Of course.
Let's see, you had free labor. You scratched materials.
I did.
You were absolutely shameless. I give you high marks for ingenuity. It's green because it's built out of green materials. It's green because you have no commute to work. You can just shuffle across the backyard. You'll see more of your kids.
Yeah.
Thanks very much
Thank
for
you very
letting us
much.
drop in on you.
Thanks for the help.
Stay in touch.
We will.
Best of luck. All right. Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks.